When I went to Mount Herzl National Cemetery in Jerusalem, we spent most of the time visiting the gravesite of those killed since October 7th. It was really hard to see soldiers visiting their fallen comrades and attending their funerals. While I walked around the cemetery, I saw a few funerals going on. I honestly don't think there was a dry eye in the whole property, between those of us on birthright, the soldiers, and of course, the family members. Sderot is a city in southern Israel with mostly residential neighborhoods. It is nothing like Tel Aviv or Jerusalem. It is just miles from the Gaza Strip, now riddled with bullet holes on street poles, sidewalks, and curbs. On October 7th, Hamas terrorists invaded the city, shot at moving vehicles on the street, and broke into homes and took families hostage. They murdered others. While I was there, I saw fallen Hamas rockets, which infuriated me. I didn't think I'd see any, let alone as many as I actually did. I watched street camera footage of murders and visited a burned down building. It was a police station. It was taken by Hamas on October 7th and knocked down by the police chief of Sderot, who did not want to send a SWAT team to its death, knowing the terrorists had killed the cops inside and gotten access to the armory. It was shocking to be standing on the ground where the building once stood, looking at a mural painted on the neighboring building to commemorate the attack. Then we headed south to the Nova Music Festival Memorial. Visiting the site of the Nova Music Festival in southern Israel, where Hamas terrorists massacred hundreds of people, young and old, was probably the hardest part of my trip. Knowing that I was standing in the exact place where people were raped, mutilated, tortured, and murdered was very difficult and surreal. It had been 7 months since the attack, and the grounds looked very peaceful, like nothing had happened there. As I walked around, lots of people cried, even people in my birthright group who knew people who were killed there. It seemed weird to be just miles from the Gaza Strip where the people Hamas took hostage were being held. I'm very grateful I had the opportunity to go to Israel on birthright during this time to see the entire country and talk to people everywhere. My family was nervous about me going, and I was nervous too, but I felt that I needed to go as a Jew and a journalist. I think as journalists, we have a larger responsibility to bear witness and remember attacks like this one. It was a very fun, hard, emotional trip, but I am so glad I did it and would honestly do it again if I could.